Hello all, welcome to the Happynessa 1111 channel, where we are committed to happiness, connectedness, and being you authentically and unapologetically. So remember to check out my other videos. I have your Let's Talk Tuesday, which is always a follow-up to Monday's video. Weight Loss and Management Wednesday, I talk a lot about intermittent fasting, low carb, and different strategies to lose weight in all different types of scenarios. We have Life Walk Info Thursday. That's typically showing my life, the kids, myself, my husband. He doesn't like to be on camera quite yet. Recipes, cooking, and then Soulful Sunday. So today's video is our Monday. I want to adjust something a little bit. It's just distracting. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about limiting beliefs. So last week we talked about thoughts, because thoughts is the foundation for understanding your mind and mental health, and how we're really projecting things from our mind into our life, right? Your thoughts are that foundation. Well, limiting beliefs take it a step further, because when you take a lot of thoughts and you make a belief out of it, a belief system, then you tend to try to validate that and live a life that proves that belief to be true. So I'm not going to use a lot of psychological terms, because there's lots of different, theories on this, but what we're going to talk about, again, specifically is limiting beliefs. And a limiting belief is something, it's a limited perspective, right? So it's a belief that says something in your life is going to be limited. And then basically, again, we subconsciously, not consciously, subconsciously, we seek to prove that belief. So what I'm going to do is talk about a lot of common ones that a lot of us are trying to overcome, because a lot of us, after spending time and energy on self-development and different positive things, we are confused as to why do I still have this challenge. If I feel healed, if I feel like a different person, why is this recurring pattern still showing up in our life? And it's often because you haven't addressed your limiting beliefs. Maybe you address some childhood trauma, because that's a lot of, traditional things that happens in therapy and counseling. It's going back to your childhood, where you created a lot of certain beliefs, right? So you go through specific experiences and try to heal them, which is awesome. And for some people that is enough. But for a lot of people, you actually got to take it a step further and investigate what your limiting beliefs are, and then create new beliefs to replace them. Okay? So let me do a time check, because we're going to make these videos concise. So a limiting belief, I already described what it is. I'm going to give you examples now. So here's an example. I want you to fill in the blank. There is never enough, fill in the blank. What is your limiting belief that you just thought of? There is never enough time for a lot of people. There is never enough money for a lot of people. So let me break those two down a little bit more. So I'm going to say the examples for Let's Talk Tuesday, because that's what I'm supposed to do. But what I can do specifically is just talk about generally. So I won't talk about my examples, but generally speaking, think about how busy, especially in America, how busy people are, irregardless of how much they're working or whatever, however life presents itself. Most people are addicted to being busy. And that's because we have a belief that there's never enough time. So we have to confirm that belief by always staying busy. Irregardless of how much you're working, whether you're on vacation, no matter what life is presenting you with, we have this addiction to busyness. And again, it's because a lot of us were taught that in our childhood. And I'll talk about my childhood specifically on Let's Talk Tuesday, so you can see the connection between the childhood experience, the belief, and then the life that presents itself. Another one is there's never enough money. Oh my gosh. So this is so clear, because think about it. Most of you might know the statistic. Well, 70 to 80% of people who win the lottery, and I'm talking about the jackpot, I'm talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, and now even billions of dollars. After taxes, of course, it's cut in half, but still, that's still a ton of money. So why is it that after people winning hundreds of millions of dollars, why is it that 70 to 80% of them are still going broke? I'm talking about bankruptcy broke. Why is that? That's a little suspicious. Well, it's because, again, most people have this limiting belief that there's never enough money. And until you heal that belief and replace it with something that is true, which is, I live in an infinite, abundant universe, and there's always more than enough money and resources to take care of my needs. Now, sometimes it takes a while to get to that point where you believe that, but you can get to that point at some point, so that you're not always living this feeling and this life experience of there's never enough, right? So that's one of the reasons why 70-80% of people are going broke after they win the lottery or after they come across an inheritance or even if they have a really well-paying job. For a lot of people, there's also another limiting belief that I'll insert here, which is, I'm not deserving. So this feeling that you deserve something is so interesting, and I need to dive into it more with myself because I haven't done enough. I've done some reflection work on it, but I've done a lot less of the deservedness stuff on myself. So I won't go into deep, but I know that's a big one that comes up for a lot of people, is that they don't feel like they're deserving of love or nice things because, again, there was some childhood trauma or experience that taught them, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving. What's another one? You have a lot of different beliefs that are very dangerous and lead to world conflict. You know, we have different beliefs about different races. We have beliefs about within genders. And that's one that's gotten me in trouble a lot because I won't give the example of why, I'll save it for Let's Talk Tuesday, but I have had to heal some beliefs I've had about men because they weren't true. You know, I was stereotyping and generalizing some of my experiences to all men, which meant I was going to live a life where that was going to be validated, and that's not what I want. So, for example, what is a belief? Some women believe that all men cheat. Some women believe that men don't do their fair share of like home stuff. So that's a big one for a lot of people with families, where you can have a man and a woman both working 40+ hours, and yet a woman feels that, well, of course, because I'm the woman, and a lot of men feel this way too, because I'm the woman, all of that extra house care and child care is on me, because that was actually a cultural norm, an expectation in many cultures, and to this day it is. But you will find that not every family is situated that way. And so you can find families in which the man and the woman have a different belief. They believe that home chores and raising the kids is a shared responsibility, and or it can be outsourced. You know, there's a lot of ways to overcome those limiting beliefs, but that's a common one. You have a lot of women who feel burdened by the homework, the home work they have to do after their 40 hours a week, or even if you're just a stay-at-home mom. I don't want to say just, I don't like that sentiment that people have about stay-at-home moms. I go through phases where I'm home with the kids primarily, but I also do entrepreneurial things. And so I know that even if I had 100% of my time focused on the home, when you have kids and you have a husband that you're caring for in a home, that's a full-time job. So what I'm trying to say is it's a very common belief for women across the world to feel burdened by the sharing of responsibilities, but we don't have to feel that way. You can look to other women and families and realize there's a lot of women where their husbands and partners are helping out, right? There's a lot of women who outsource in a healthy way, have more help around the house with cleaning or with the kids. So I think I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to leave the rest of this, how much? It's been 8 minutes? Yeah, that's more than enough. I'm going to leave the rest for Let's Talk Tuesday. I'm going to give you my examples of how a childhood experience led to my beliefs of there's never enough time, there's never enough money, and that, you know, men don't do their fair share. I'll talk about that tomorrow. Why did I believe that? How did it manifest in my life in negative ways? And then I guess I can talk about, no, I'll leave it at that. Those three are good, because these videos are going to be around 5 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and especially comment below, because this is a community of connection, like I've been mentioning. I really want to be connected, and I want to hear more about you all. What are you doing that I can support? Tell me more about yourself. What do you think about this video and the limiting beliefs? Have you investigated your own limiting beliefs? If you don't comment on this one, again, that's a lot of what we do on Let's Talk Tuesday as well. So be looking for that video. And thank you again for accepting my humble beginnings on this channel. These videos are just as is, unedited and not with the most professional equipment, but I want to inspire people to start somewhere. Whatever your vision is, start somewhere and just keep going with it, okay? So thanks again, and I'll see you next time.